Hello, folks. Hope you're on good form. Welcome back. It's Dan here, and we are continuing on our Champions League campaign today at home against Ludogorets. So, we are going to get straight into this, and I'll talk to you about what's been going on um, since we were last together afterwards. But there have been transfer bids, and we did draw a match away to Talentin, but there is plenty of time for that. So, this is the team that we are going to go with today. Ted Kurd, although goodness knows why, because he was responsible for us conceding a goal, in my opinion, against Tlensin in the last match. Sadidla as our right wing back. Sam Barnes, Milo Savljevic. There is no Mesic or Meshik anymore because he has been sold. Again, I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. Zaidi on the left. The base of the midfield will be Hussein Basic and Duda. Gudrum on the right, Pavlovic in the hole in the middle, and Ilic, who is just the perennial fantastic trainer, but he does not. He is not playing especially well. It's not converting. So actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to put Liska out on the left as an inverted forward, or inside forward rather, and Hlavac up front because Leonard is the subject of a transfer bid from Leicester. They have activated his minimum release clause for foreign clubs, so that is set at £1 million. I've been batting them away, but finally they've put the money up front, and yeah, we'll see what happens. He's not keen on the move, but he's willing to enter preliminary talks. But whilst he's got that going on, I'm not going to start him. And Hlavat has actually been playing really rather well. He's just been reliably banging in the goals, but no doubt he will let me down today, but we shall see. I've been advised to go cautious against Ludogorets, but I see no real need to. We are going to go positive Gegenpress. So yeah, let's cross our fingers that we can make a positive start to this two-legged tie. We are going on a good run. I have all the faith in the world in all of you boys. Get out there and do some stuff. Yeah. Let's see what the future brings first. I won't be discussing transfer stories. More Champions League music that can play over. No, it won't. It stopped. Interesting. Right, okay. So we are off. The assistant manager seems to think that Ludogorets are going to have the lion's share of the possession. We will see, I guess. Interesting. Legia Warsaw, who we played last year in the Europa Conference League, are also in this final preliminary round, and they are one up. We might be going one down though, because this looks like FM free kick territory where it's just over. Right, okay, we're going straight into another highlight. That is a little bit concerning. I would play the ball a little bit quicker there, Mr. Barnes, if you wouldn't mind. Pavlovic with the ball. Goodrum. Oh, he's giving the ball away. Often so reliable. Are we going to win the ball back? No, it doesn't appear so. Ludogorets stroking it around in midfield very nicely, but Goodrum does pick up the ball there. And Sididla has turned into a blind alley and turns back. Barnes to Duda. Pavlovic picks up the ball. That was a nice run there. He had to make that work. Back to Duda. Goodrum. Ah, Goodrum. Take it on your left foot, man. You're a professional footballer. You had space. I just saw visions of that going in the bottom left corner. But he was very unselfish, but he passed it to Liska, who was being very heavily attended to by the defender. Even so, we march on. I mean, 6 shots, none on target. I mean, at least we're At least we're having shots. If not a huge amount of possession. Pardon me. Can't even get my words out. Dear Lord, play for set pieces. I agree. We do have some lads in there who could potentially do some damage from a set piece. It's all a little bit tight as the first half comes to an end. But you know, there's still time. No. Time for nothing. It is 0-0 at half time. The fans expect it. Right, well, no, we need to definitely start. We need to start hitting the target. Right. We need you to change the game for us. You have the ability to make a real difference for us. Right, let's get out there and get ourselves a win, shall we? Because we have to go to Bulgaria. And I don't like the idea of that. Not on a 0-0. And not having lost. So let's win. That'd be good. These lads that I've put so much faith in have not really done the business so far. And quite frankly, it is a little bit unacceptable. So I might have to start ringing some changes. But we do have a highlight here. Zaidi, who's on a booking, is... I don't... and Pavlovic has scored. Well, you weren't on my list to come off, although you're looking tired. But that is excellent. So we have a goal. Let's see if we can build on this now. I skipped the highlight, and I shouldn't have. It was a very nice goal. I wasn't quite sure it was going to work out with some of the passing choices that were made, but we got there in the end, and that's what matters. Right. Oh, okay. We have another highlight, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because it's Ludogorets with the ball, and the midfielder's just opened up there. But Goodrum has won the ball, and we might have a counter-attack on here. Oh, it's broken to Duda, very fortunately. And Liska scores. You were about to come off, you lucky, lucky boy. Hlavat is had a bit of a non-game, but that was fortuitous. That was the word I was looking for. Lovely cross from Duda, just stands up at the back post, and Liska, I don't even know what his heading stats are like, but that is his second headed goal for us, and it has come at a very good time for us. I think I'm going to take Klavats off after all that, and I'm going to put Tomasz Karas on. I don't think he's played especially well of late. No, he has not. But he is one for the future. I could put on Harry Leonard's just for a potential swan song, but I don't think I'm going to. He's involved in a transfer, which is just an unfortunate fact of life. Right, Goodrum, you are tiring, sir, as is Sadidla. Both are playing well though, so I might just let this tick over a little bit. Yeah. Right, okay, now's the time, I think. So Goodrum, you are going to come off. I will bring on... We don't... in fact... Right. What are we going to do? Do you know what? I'm going to bring Marcelli on. He doesn't really play, ever. And is there anything else that we can do here? We have got some tired boys, and we have 3 substitutions left, so let's think about this in an intelligent way. I think Pavlovic has played well, as has Liska, so but I think I'm gonna Koshitz Koval. and Swiderski are two that could come on. Swiderski hasn't had much of a look in, but he has played well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some fresh legs on in the centre of that midfield. I'm not going to take Duda off yet, but I will take Marco. I will put Marco on for Zaidi because he is on a booking, and that's just an accident waiting to happen. So we've got four substitutions made, one left, and we have a little bit of time to make a fifth. But we're going to try and be a bit more intelligent about this. It comes out to Marcelli. Is he going to have a hit? Off. It hits the post, I think. That was very nice indeed. Okay, Duda, you are being cited as a tired boy, so Koscic Koval can come on. Wow, Legia are 5-2 up. Young boys are really beating. Is that Sporting Lisbon? I think it might be. Right, okay, we are in injury time now, so this is going swimmingly, I must say, and that is it. There is the final whistle, a 2-0 victory at home against Ludogorets. So, yeah, good work, boys, well done. Yes, it was a good day at the office, thank you very much for that. Right, okay, so, just to get you all caught up then, before I put in a break. So, that game is coming in a week's time. We have Girona away, which is not going to be easy because they are sixth and they've done all right so far. But we will play that off camera. In terms of what's going on transfer-wise, so Harry, as I said, Harry Leonard is subject to £1 million bid, but we also lost Ivan Meshik to Al Shamal for 625,000, but that could rise to 750. And of course, whenever anyone leaves Slovakia and goes to a different league, especially where there is money, everyone just becomes that little bit more expensive, don't they? So he is apparently valued at somewhere between 4.7 and 8 million, which is an absolute steal. I wonder what the board think to all this. I don't think they're going to be happy. Let's have a look at the outgoings. Probably not. Yeah, as we go down, let's see if he's down the bottom somewhere. No, funnily enough. I'm being absolutely slated for a bunch. Lots of D-rated stuff. Yeah, they're disappointed with the deal to sell him. However, they're pleased that the club make a healthy profit. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he may have had a clause, and that was his value. And he wanted to go, and he didn't want to renew his contract. So, what could I do? But the fans are livid, as I'm sure they will be when Harry Leonard. Well, he's likely to go, isn't he? He's English. Leicester have come in for him. They're a championship club, and I think they want him for the first 11, which makes sense because, I mean, this guy has played Premier League football before, and as far back as the 2025-26 season, he was really rather. No, there we are. 24-25 season, pardon me. He played 31 games and scored 13 goals, which was a decent return for someone who had never played Premier League before. So, yeah, what can we do? Maybe I should have made the minimum fee to release him. Maybe I should have made that fee a little bit higher, but what can you do? Right, okay. So that's you all caught up. I'm going to put in a cut, and we'll be back with the second leg. Hello, folks, and we are back for the second leg away to Ludogorets. Now, it has all been going on since I put in the cut because we have lost. He's not a set of car keys, is he? Sadidla, he has gone to Unemployed, who are YSCC Yokohama's rivals, although not at the moment because they appear to be, yeah, they're in a good spot, top of the league. Whilst YSCC Yokohama are languishing down in 14th, which is just really, really sad to look at. So he's gone there for 1.7 million up front, which could become 2 million with all the extras. So this is a profit. For sure, he was solid last season. He started off okay, but realistically, for a 28-year-old, he had pretty much hit his ceiling. He might have made a slight improvement, and I think that money could be better invested elsewhere. So we do have a transfer budget now of just under 1.8 million, and we are looking to spend that. We have got some scouting going on for a fourth centre back, and also we are busy looking for a right back as well. So in terms of scouting priorities, we are scouting in Brazil. We are scouting a Colombian centre back who I think is going to be better than the recommendation given at the moment. And there are some other kind of longer term opportunities. Ivan Kiss could be one, for example, but we have put in a sneaky bid in for a Brazilian right back called Leandro. He's decent. He's 21, and the scouts think that he is good for the first division right now, but he could improve a lot. And I imagine, even though, despite his fickleness, and despite the fact that he can't really jump, I think that he could be perfectly fine as a wing back, assuming, of course, yep, he can play as a complete wing back, which is just lovely. Yeah, so that is what's going on. Harry Leonard decided not to go to Leicester in the end, and the reason is because of the potential of playing continental football, because why wouldn't you want to play in the Champions League when we are knocking on the door of that? We are 2-0 up. We are bringing a 2-0 aggregate lead to Ludogorets. So let's get into it. I'm going to default opposition instructions. That is absolutely fine. I have no such intention of dropping deeper, but I will listen to representations made about the starting 11. Goodrin, yeah, Leonard's, yeah, up front. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now that he doesn't have a bid in for him, he might wake up and play a little bit better. Yeah, you can play. I'm looking for tiredness. Shvedarsky and Duda, yeah, okay, fine. Just because of the partnership, that's fine. You are 1 yellow away, so I'd rather you get booked now, and then I think that'll get wiped out if we proceed further. So I am theoretically happy with that starting 11 for as long as we have we've got options on the bench. That's fine. I've brought in a few youngsters up because they're 2 stars ability right now, but that actually equates to a first division standard player, but their ceiling is looking really rather good. So Fabry, he is a He can play as a left winger. He can exist in that kind of space. He's not incredible. In fact, what I might do whilst I'm here, I am going to change your training to winger on support, because that's what I want you to do. You like being an Enganche. I don't like that though. And everyone has to do what I say. So I'm going to change you so you can fit our tactical system, and then there is one more lying around somewhere. That is Petr Hrenko. So let's see what training you are on. You're on a fullback defend. You will do no such thing. You are going to... I will put you as a fullback support. That is fine. I don't want to completely mess you up. So, with all that being said, let's get into the game. Apologies for me doing little admin-y things whilst you're here watching. But, you know, these are all the little things that have to be done when you play Football Manager. So, if you've made it through that, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Much appreciated. Let's get into the tunnel. We haven't come this far. I need to quit now. Every other team is a contender, and we should be considered one too. Yeah, okay, that's what gets us this far. I'm hoping it could go in any number of ways. Let's wait and see. Just a couple of changes today. Yep, fine. Okay, so they are playing. Alright, okay. Well, this is going to be very, very interesting. I think they're going to be going for this, quite frankly. And there is an argument that maybe the Gengen press isn't necessary. But we shall see what the first 15 minutes brings, that's for sure. And the music keeps going, isn't it weird? Oh, the goalkeeper. Oh, I sympathise, because Ted Kurd has got an error in him, as I've seen twice already this season. Zaidi just kept going. It was a bit of a nothing ball. They had so many people back, but the keeper has messed that right up. It's the sort of thing that would happen if I was in goal. Just butter hands. Right, okay, so we push on. Leonard has got the ball. He plays it back to Pavlovic, who's being closely monitored. Goodrum has a shot, and it hits the crossbar. See, you can hit it with your left foot. You should do that more often. God, it reminds me of I am recording this the day after Tottenham drew with Eintracht Frankfurt 1-1 in London, and there were just shades of Lucas Bergval's shot from outside the area that hit the bar. Oh, what a strike. That lad is fantastic. He really is. I wonder, he must be in this game. Oof. Wowzers. Not far off. So this has started, first 20 minutes have started really positively. I have no reason to start changing tactics. I don't want to do anything that will lead them to get back into this, but we are just keeping them at arm's length, which is just wonderful. Yeah, I'm surprised that they've gone for this kind of, you know, deep lying forwards, inverted, okay, inside forward, okay, fine. Do they want to pull people out of position? Box to box midfield, okay, so you've got a runner from midfield, but I don't really understand that that tactical setup. He says, probably about to concede a goal. Or are we going to get a goal? God, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, Goodrum's got the ball. He always makes something happen. What a great ball. And Leonard, you clown. Oh, Harry Leonard. Dear, oh dear. That was it. He wants to come off tight calf. Geronimo Rivera. Okay. Not ideal. He feels like he can shake it off. I really, really don't want to take a risk. Equally, I don't want to put Rivera on when he's just come back from an injury, so I'm going to put Marcelli on just to be safe. Rivera will likely come on in the second half. Or we could have been 2 up, but we do have a highlight here. Shvedarsky knocks it back to Barnes, who passes it to Lievich. I will pronounce that right one day. And Leonard, oh, he should have scored again. You're being wasteful, sir, wasteful. And I don't care for it much at all. Right, Mihailovsky with the corner, in swinger, and Milosavljevic heads it over rather harmlessly. Yes, this has been very, very good. I've been surprised actually at how good we've been in this matchup. Oh dear Lord in heaven, that was not okay. That almost went in. That almost crossed the line. How bizarre. Ted Kurd, for a goalkeeper with about 2 for eccentricity, and the ability to do the unexpected. That was not good. Right, okay. So Ludogorets have really got to go for this now, and Shvedarsky's very fortuitously picked up the ball there. Duda plays a lovely ball to Leonard, and that has taken a very, very fortunate deflection. But we'll absolutely take that. We are 4-0 up on aggregate, and we are cantering into the Champions League proper group stage with all that lovely, lovely money. It sounds like I should play a game like Football Chairman or something. But as someone who has done well with the previous game that I owned, which was Football Manager 2022. Oh dear Lord. Okay, right. They've got a potential consolation. I assume he stayed on sides. I think he did. Yeah. So I took in Football Manager 2022, I took Curzon Ashton up to the Championship. And I mean, one day I'll have to get out the save. And I think they were building a new stadium, or they were going to expand the stadium by the time I left and I went to Brighton, who were in the Championship. And I was very successful with Brighton. We won the Champions League 3 times. I think it was 3 years in a row, or it was definitely 3 and 4 years, which felt, a bit Real Madrid-esque. And then I finally won the Premier League with them, and then went to Tottenham because, I'm a Tottenham fan. And then we won the Premier League, first time of asking there. So, I have hopped around a bit to get success, but, there's only so far that you can take clubs when they're not prepared to invest and they don't have the money to invest in the infrastructure and they don't have the supporters and all that kind of stuff. Right, okay, so enough of that. Let's crack on here. So Rivera is going to get a game. You have done very well, but I'm sure you'll have no objection to me taking you off because I want fresher legs. Right, I think Marco, you can definitely come on as well. So we're going to make 3 changes. Hopefully that won't upset things too much, but we are winning 2-1. It is 4-1 on aggregate, and I do not see a problem with making that number of changes in given that we've just shipped a goal. Okay, we have a centre midfield that's tired, so that's going to be the next change, but we only have one stoppage left, so we are going to be clever about this, but I think both of these lads are going to come off. Oh, I can't make any more substitutions. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, okay, so Hussein Bashik. Hussein Bashik, that's the one, has come on for Shwiderski. And it's Hussein Bashik who takes the corner, but the keeper gathers that up. Right, okay. It would be a terrible shame to draw this game. I will say that much. And you've just lost the ball. So if we end up drawing or potentially losing this, it's because I've made some very, very complacent substitutions. But Karas has a go, and it just loops over the bar. Yeah, we are looking really rather good, although he says I'm going to dial this right down. I did this in the last game. I took it off Gegenpress way too late and the players were knackered. Away. Oh, I assume Ted Kurd knew. He knew where he was, and he just allowed that to go over the bar. Right, okay, we are in injury time. This is probably going to be a reasonably tight end to this episode. I'm conscious that all my talking has taken me over 30 minutes of recording time. Well done, fellas. Being richly rewarded with dazzling displays. Lovely. Right, okay, so let's see what happens. So we have got another 85 grand for winning that round. Progressing, I should say. Yeah, we did well. The goalkeeper did have a howler though. Slovakia boss is looking at Mitsuda, Duda and Pavlovic. Nice. Okie doke. I'm going to provide no shocks. Okay. No shocks, but then Rangers perform a shock. Okay, interesting. Right, fixtures have been revealed. Okay, so we have got Lyon at home, Galatasaray away. That's going to be horrendous. Barcelona, Barcelona at home. Celtic away. Okay, lovely. Young boys who have come through the rounds with us. Away, Shakhtar Donetsk at home, Real Madrid away. Wow, and then I have never heard of you before. Parthenope. Has that got anything to do with the Parthenon in Athens? Who knows? Okay, that is a very, very tasty set of fixtures. That is utterly ridiculous and very, very enjoyable. I wonder if what's happening here. Okay, so if we go to the pot, yeah, Real Madrid, Barcelona, dear Lord, this team, their coefficient ranking is 16th. I assume, therefore, that, I mean, we've got to be in pot 4. We have to be. Let's see if we can have a look a little bit more into that. Right, okay. Stages. No. teams. No, that doesn't look very useful either. I mean, it's great that we're there. What our coefficient is pretty awful, I expect. Yeah. Yeah, we've got to be. Yeah, we're one of the weaker teams. That's coefficient. Where is it going to tell me about the pots? Oh well, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that we have some excellent fixtures that I can show you, and we have got £12 million for our trouble, which is just absolutely seismic. That improves the bank balance. We're going to get TV money. We may be able to nick the odd win. Young boys, that's away. Leon at home, I doubt. But you know, you never know. Shakhtar Donetsk potentially. Yeah, we might be able to spring a surprise against Celtic. There are some teams there that we might be able to have a bit of a pop at. And I think, from memory, competitions, Champions League, rules, once we get to the league phase, not that everything is about money, but you get almost 800 grand for a draw, and you get 2.4 million for a win. And this is just fine and dandy. And I imagine that, yeah, well, they're only pleased. They're just pleased. Oh dear. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's go to competitions. Let's see how pleased they are on the meter. So they're 70%. Yeah, I mean, we qualified for the Champions League proper. Okay, so what does that do then? I mean, I don't want the league to be a bit of a sideshow, but I feel like it is. Just so you know, we're top. We're level on points with Turn of Us standard. We can never seem to be able to get away from them. We've drawn the one game against Turn Sin away, and you know, all the other games we went 1-0 down against Girona, but we then managed to turn that around and beat them 3-1. But I think like the league is going to be a bit of a sideshow because we've just got so many wonderful Champions League games, and I think that's going to be the direction of travel for this season, unless things spice up a bit in the first division and it gets a bit tight, and I've got games to show you there. But let's see how the squad evolves, given that we are selling some players, who we can get in, and see whether the squad can actually stand up against Leon. So that'll be the next game that I show you. All right, folks, thanks for bearing with me. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.